Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Red Dragon and we are finally back to the Welcome to War Thunder series. Now I know, it has been well over a year. The pandemic has thrown my life into chaos just like everyone else's. Work, yada yada yada. I could go on for days with excuses, but the fact is, we are back. I have had some people ask questions on the Discord. I have had some people give suggestions. I've played a little bit more War Thunder and come up with some ideas. And I want to start by continuing this series. I said I was going to see it through. I know it's late, but, you know, better late than never. So we're going to forge ahead, continue on, and go in the next logical step in this, so far, only 2-episode series, but now to be 3, with the German Luftwaffe. Like the others, we're going to start at rank 1, and I'm just going to give my opinions on what aircraft I think would be useful for new players. Again, this is all my opinion. I literally just spent the day playing around with these aircraft in realistic battles, trying some things out, relearning them in some cases, and I would like to share what I learned with you. So if you would like to follow along, let's jump right in. Alright, here we are in the hangar. As usual, our lineup is going to stay in rank 1 as much as possible. And we are going to have 3 fighters, 1 close air support, and 1 level bomber, just to give every flavor of air combat the chance to shine. So for German rank 1 air, I recommend that new players try the Bf-109 B1, the HE-112 B0, the Dornier 17 Z7, the Junkers 87 R2, and the HE-111 H3. Let's take a look first at the Bf-109B1. The Bf-109B1 is a German rank 1 battle rating 1.3 aircraft. It has 2 7.92mm MG-17 machine guns with 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Its maximum speed is 465 kilometers an hour. Its maximum altitude is 9,000 meters. Its turn time is 22 seconds. And its rate of climb is 10.2 meters per second. So for anyone who is even remotely interested in World War II history, the Bf-109s are iconic. They are the standard chassis upon which many variants were built throughout the war. This is the first version you get in War Thunder, and it does have its drawbacks, but it is an excellent training platform if you continue to grind down the tech tree, because after this, straight down the tech tree is almost nothing but Bf-109s until you get to the high-tier jets. Some key things to know about 109s in general, but specifically the B1. It is made to boom and zoom. We talked about this in the American aircraft video. Booming and zooming is simply using your engine power to climb to altitude, spotting a target below you, diving on the target and positioning yourself to make a gun run. Once you have raked the target with gunfire, whether or not you kill it, use your speed to open the distance, regain your altitude and energy, and repeat the process. This is a key for the Bf-109. Another key advantage of this aircraft is once you do dive, you do have a very great amount of maneuverability in high-speed turns if you need to hold on target just a little bit longer to ensure damage or a kill. But do not get sucked into a turn fight. If you turn, you lose your speed. Once you lose your speed, you are a dead man. You need to retain energy in this fighter to get out of sticky situations. If you find that you have expended too much energy, most of the time you will be able to run away from anyone pursuing you. You have enough engine power that you should be able to outrun a decent amount of things you are going to face at this tier. But as always, use your best judgment. Try not to get yourself into a situation where you're going to get cornered by more than one enemy or outrun by something that is stronger than you. A downside of the B1 variant specifically is that it does not have any cannons. It is stuck with those 2 MGs. I will be honest, you are going to find yourself not killing a lot of things when you first start playing this aircraft. Focus on the engines, focus on the pilot if you really want to get lots of kills. The main reason I suggest this version of the aircraft and not a higher tier version with cannons right away is simply because of the simplicity of flying this first version and its use as a practice vehicle, a training vehicle to get you used to the Bf-109's features and basic handling style before you move on to the higher tier 109s. All in all, it's a fun little airplane to start with. I recommend you make this the first one you start with in the German tree after the reserves, and let's be honest, it just kind of looks pretty, don't it? All right, next up on our hit parade is the HE-112B0. Once again, this is a rank 1 German fighter at battle rating 2.0. It has two 7.92mm MG-17 machine guns with 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and two 20mm MG-FF cannons with 120 rounds of ammunition. It has a maximum speed of 502 kilometers per hour, a maximum altitude of 8,000 meters, a turn time of 19 seconds, a rate of climb of 13.8 meters per second. This is quite possibly one of my absolute favorite German aircraft to play, period. Doesn't matter the rank, doesn't matter the battle mode, this aircraft is incredibly fun. For a few different reasons. One, the cannons. It's got those two 20mm cannons. Granted, you have a very, very limited amount of ammunition for them. You have to be very, very sparing with your firing of the cannons. Use your machine guns to pepper the target and get your range in, get your aim in, and then just tap, tap, tap the cannons. Once you get the air belts, you will shred everything you come up against. A couple other notes about the 112. It is incredibly fast. Much like the 109, it is going to be a great boom and zoomer, even more so because of the higher speed. It is kind of like driving a sports car, in my opinion, and I am a little biased for this airplane. I really, really do like it. It is less nimble than the B1 109, but if you have done well with the 109 and are used to the booming and zooming tactic and not getting caught in turn fights, which is really easy to do in the HE-112 because it does have a better turn time than the 109, if you can force yourself into that boom and zoom tactic and be patient and really think about what targets you're going to go for and win, this aircraft will reward you time and time and time again. I cannot put into words how much I enjoy flying this thing. Truly, it is a lot of fun. The HE-112 does have two other variants that you have to research before. The HE-112 V5 and the HE-112AO. They handle very similarly, have very similar characteristics. The big difference is the V5 only has the two 30 caliber machine guns, and the AO only has the 120mm cannons. So, still good aircraft, but you can't beat the combined armament of the 30 mils and the cannons to really get the job done. Now for this next aircraft, I'll be really honest with you, I debated not putting it in here, simply because I am a little biased against the twin-engine heavy fighters. I am not great at flying them. I am bad at using them tactically. However, I did want to keep this lineup having a little bit more variety. I didn't want to double up on the 109s or double up on the 112s. So I threw the Dornier 17Z7 in just to give an example of the German heavy fighters, because there are some excellent heavy fighters down this research line and some excellent close air support and ground attack aircraft down this line that you shouldn't overlook simply because I, the person making this video, do not like heavy fighters that much. The Dornier 17Z-7 is a rank 1 German heavy fighter at battle rating 1.3. It has an armament of three 7.92 MG-17 machine guns with 3,000 rounds of ammunition, and one 20mm MG-151 cannon with 400 rounds of ammunition, all of which are mounted in the nose. It also has two 30 caliber machine gun turrets located behind and above and behind and below the cockpit. She has a crew of three, a maximum speed of 448 kilometers per hour, a maximum altitude of 8,500 meters, a turn time of 34 seconds, and a rate of climb of 10 meters per second. Now, a nimble fighter, this is not. However, it does get an air spawn, which is part of the reason I decided to keep it in this lineup. Having an air spawn is nice. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot of climbing because you spawn almost at your max altitude. You're going to need to do a little bit of climbing to get up to the bombers. But if you can climb to the bombers, you have an opportunity to get some nice kills with those 30 caliber machine guns and 20mm cannon. This can also carry a small assortment of bombs, but honestly, ditch the bombs, save the weight, go into heavy fighter mode. If you do want to dive down to the deck, be aware, this is a big girl. She turns very slowly. She's a very thick target for enemies to go after. But if you catch a group of enemies with your team in a furball, you can take targets of opportunity while perhaps someone is in a slow turn, trying to climb, focused on another target. This is very much a play carefully, take chances when they come, fighter, not get stuck in and be aggressive, because you are going to be a very juicy target. The one thing I will say that does not apply is if an enemy is dumb enough to go heads up with you, evaluate what he is. If he's got a lot of 50s or a lot of cannons, maybe shy away. But if he's some, pissant little P-36, risk the head-on. You can probably take him out with the cannon. But again, let the buyer beware. Do as you see fit. This is a fun aircraft to play. It just takes a lot more nuance and patience, honestly, a little bit more than I have. But give it a try. Your results may vary. All right, and on to our first ground attack aircraft, the Ju-87R2. Now, if you're playing War Thunder, you are at least somewhat familiar with World War II history, I would imagine. And if you are, like with the Bf-109, if you're even a little bit into World War II history, you probably know about the Ju-87, the German dive bomber that was devastating on the Eastern Front in the early days of the war. This is not a variant that has the dive sirens mounted, unfortunately, but it will still be very effective. It is a rank 1, battle rating 1.3 German dive bomber. It has two MG-17 7.92mm machine guns with a total capacity of 1,000 rounds. It has a single MG-15 machine gun in the rear of the aircraft for defense, and its possible bomb loadout is a single 1,000 kilogram bomb, a single 500 kilogram bomb, or a single 250 kilogram bomb. It has a crew of 2, a maximum speed of 383 kilometers per hour unloaded, a maximum altitude of 7,000 meters, a turn time of 27 seconds unloaded, and a rate of climb of 9.6 meters per second unloaded. The Ju-87 is also an incredibly fun aircraft to play. Any of the variants, whether it's the higher tier variants, the variants in rank 1, the variant that has the 30mm cannons, gun pods, however you choose to play the Stuka, you're going to have a good time. Granted, your results may vary. Typically, there's two ways you can use the R2 Stuka in realistic battles. One, you load up the bomb of your choice, find the ground targets that you need to destroy to win the mission, drop a bomb, take out as many as you can with the bomb, strafe the ones you can strafe with the guns, go back, rearm, continue until dead, or game is over. Another option that I didn't consider until I saw it as I was playing is that the Ju-87s with their 1,000 kilogram bomb, they can destroy a base by themselves. So I encountered more than one game where a squadron of 3 or 4 players teamed up and they were all flying, well, not all of them, a majority of them would be flying Ju-87s, and if you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 Ju-87s and a level bomber in your realistic game and they coordinate and don't get immediately blown out of the sky, your team can win the game really freaking quickly. If each dive bomber goes for a base and the level bombers go for the airfield, they'll all get there within about a minute or two of each other, and there's not a whole lot the fighters at low altitude can do. Even if you don't coordinate that well with your team or with squadron mates, getting a juicy base kill at the beginning of the game is very useful. Depending on what the enemy is doing, you may even be able to get in and out and rearmed before they're worried about you. They may be too busy with the fighters at low altitude. There's not a whole lot other to say about the Ju-87. It is a very big gull-wing aircraft. It is slow. It is not very maneuverable. Do you occasionally have the opportunity to shoot at another aircraft with the forward-facing guns? Yes. It's a great, fun dive bomber, but it is very susceptible to ground fire and enemy aircraft. So it is a great joy to play, great fun to go close air support and ground striking with, but a fighter you are not. Be wary of other aircraft, but enjoy. And last, but certainly not least, let's take a look at our level bomber, the HE-111H3. The HE-111 is a rank 1 German level bomber, battle rating 1.7. She has 7 machine gun turrets holding MG-15 7.92mm machine guns. She has 2 bomb loads, 32 50 kilogram bombs, or 8 250 kilogram bombs. She has a crew of 5, a maximum speed of 435 kilometers per hour, a maximum altitude of 8,500 meters, a turn time of 33 seconds, and a rate of climb of 6.3 meters per second. All of these values are with the bomber unloaded. Now, the HE-111, again, much like the Ju-87, not a whole lot to talk about. It is just the bomber that I thought would do best for rank 1 players. The big reason for that is she is thick and chunky. In the clip I'm showing now, you'll see that a Hurricane with the 40mm cannons gets behind me and pumps several of the 40 mils plus the 7.62s into me, and I can stay flying and drop my bomb load. That being said, given enough time, absolutely would have killed me. The HE-111, again, has a big profile, big meaty target. It is best up high. If you want to risk it for the biscuit and load up those 3250 kilograms and go for the lightly armed ground targets, be my guest. More power to you. Live dangerously. I love it. Personally, I stay up at altitude. You can destroy, with the 250 kilogram bombs, 7 bombs will kill 1 base, so you can drop 7 on 1 base and 1 on another base if you need to help a teammate finish up some hit points on it. So that's good to know. Don't drop all 8 bombs on 1 base. Save 1 in case you need it to help kill another. Other than that, not a whole lot to say about the HE-111. There were a lot of other German bombers I could have chosen. I just personally enjoy the HE-111 a little bit more because she is thick and chunky, kind of like me. So yeah, that's the lineup I would recommend if you're going for rank 1 German Air Forces and playing realistic battles. If you're going to go arcade, you're obviously going to need to tweak this up. You're not going to be able to take the HE-112B0 in this lineup simply because it is a whole battle rating step higher than you want to be with most of the aircraft. You can easily swap it out for one of the other HE-112 variants. You can swap it out for the Bf-109E1. Whatever you want to do if you're an arcade player. But if you're a realistic battle player, I'd recommend any of the 5 right here. As I said with the HE-111, there are a lot of other German bombers. The Ju-88s are fantastic. As for heavy fighters, the Dornier 217s and the Ju-88 C6 are also fun, and they lead to very different things. Down the Dornier line, you have the Bf-110s, more Dorniers, and then the Me-410s as you get higher up. So again, kind of as far as the bombers and heavy fighters go, it's very much at user's discretion. But I guess that's all these choices. This is my opinion after all. So that was rank 1 German Air Forces. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, leave them in the comments below. I would like to make a special thank you to Farnarf, aka Gold River, aka the resident shanty man over on the Discord server. I put the call out quite a while ago when I thought I was going to originally make this video about what a good German air and tank lineup would be, and he offered some very helpful advice that I used in this video. If you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you want to catch me live over on Twitch, head on over there. If you want to chat more about War Thunder or any other games or meme it up, you can join the community Discord server. Links for everything are in the description below. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you in the next one, and good luck.